SunLit 1. Wherever you are on your path, wherever this moment finds you, know that you are held in this light that we share together. We journey towards a fire that has always lived within us. To all those who seek, all those who wonder, this is a place beyond time and story, where the eternal flame inside each one of us is seen, it's honored, and it's tended. And so, thank you once again for tuning in, for coming through with your flame and allowing it to join with ours until many sparks become one gathered light. Now, we have walked with light. In our first episode, we have sat in darkness. In our second episode, now, today, we reconcile the two and face the distortion in between. Before we delve in, we need to clear the mist first. There is a great misunderstanding. We have been taught to see light and darkness as enemies, one to be embraced and the other one to be feared. But what if this story is incomplete? What if the shadow, what we are taught as darkness, is not here to destroy light, but to give it shape, to give it depth and meaning? This is the human journey. You encounter wounds that strip you naked. You face silent battles that feels like abandonment. You wrestle with betrayals, losses, and disappointments. And in these moments, you may whisper, I must be cursed. I must be forgotten. But in truth, darkness was where you were being prepared. Evil was the distortion trying to convince you you are unworthy. And then light was the internal or the eternal pulse that never left you. These moments are not misplaced. They are the curriculum of your soul. Light, darkness, and evil are not the same. Darkness is womb, the place before birth, the soil of becoming. Light is essence, your eternal nature, the divine spark. But evil is the distortion between darkness and light. It's the illusion of separation from source. So when we confuse them, despair deepens. When we integrate them, that's when our healing begins. When you begin to see darkness in this way, you no longer fear it. You no longer blame it. You honor it. You integrate it. You see that the shadows, the distortions, the trials, all that dark night, all that dark space, all those experiences that you went through, that almost just questioned your identity, all those obstacles, they were architecture of your emergence. Your scars are not flaws. You begin to see them this way. You begin to see that those scars, they are only just constellations. They map your journey to the moment of remembrance and reunion with your own radiance and your own essence. Pain is the classroom. Darkness becomes the womb. All those suicidal nights, the family wounds we've spoken about, and And sunlit soul, I can assure you, when you honor your wounds, when you nurture your wounds, when you kiss your wounds, your darkness in this case, this is where you begin your healing. Because the wound, or beyond the darkness, there is a wound. And this is the wound that speaks of what was taken, what was denied, what was lost. Now, here is the crux of this issue. Underline the word integration. Integration begins when you stop fighting the darkness and accepting that light and darkness can coexist, but not as equals. They are not enemies locked in an eternal war. No, they are complementary realities that reveal this full spectrum of our being. Darkness is not absence of light. It is the womb, the fertile space, the shadowed canvas where light can emerge. Light is essence, eternal and radiant, and it is the core of who you are. In every soul, there is a core of light. This light is eternal. It's unshakable and independent of circumstances. Darkness can surround it, obscure it, blind it, challenge it, but it cannot destroy it. Darkness is the soil, I repeat. The shadow, it's only just a contrast. It shows up when growth is needed, important. When you need to grow, when there's a lesson to learn, when healing is required, when clarity is sought, darkness will come. Evil, on the contrary to darkness, however, it's different. Evil is the distortion, a twisting of energy, a forgetting of alignment. Evil cannot coexist. That's the difference. At the core of it, evil survives only by clinging to light or by feeding off of the shadow and creating these illusions of separation. Evil is in essence, the enemy. Light at its core, fully known, cannot harbor evil. Darkness, fully embraced, is never evil. It is simply the space of gestation. Evil is the twist, the confusion, the misalignment. What if your biggest sin was you being misaligned? When you are misaligned, you are falling short of the glory. I'm going to quote one of my favorite Nkhonos. She likes to explain and say, Modimo, Modimo. Mo means more, Dimo, higher ascended moment, meaning that Modimo is when you are having that light moment, that light energy. When you have embraced this darkness and integrated it fully. So yes, light and darkness can meet and intertwine, creating depth, awareness, and revelation. But the core remains light. Darkness is not a threat. It is a necessity. Without it, you would not recognize light. Without contrast, there is no awakening. Now, in this sacred dance of existence, light and darkness can, yes, coexist. Not in conflict, but in a dynamic interplay. And when you meet them fully, your soul learns the deepest lessons. Light is always waiting to be known, even in the shadow. And finally, sunlit one, take a moment and reflect on your dark spaces, dark moments, dark experiences. Try to integrate these See the lessons in those experiences. Maybe sit in stillness and take a deep breath and say, I accept my shadow fully. When you exhale, say, I release all distortions fully. And whisper, I am SunLit. I am light.